Are you feeling alienated from work and from its related activities? Are you finding your job stressful, frustrating? Are you becoming cynical with working conditions, and that can include volunteering? And that includes the people you work with. Do you feel like you are distant from them emotionally, or you feel like you don't belong, or you don't have value, you don't have worth there? Now, I'm not saying, but with this, there is an extra part of this that will say this. With regard to the people at work, you might feel that way, but you might be right to feel that way. But if but we're talking as a general term here. So do you feel that way in yourself? And there is no logical explanation to show it. Physical symptoms. Are you feeling chronic stress? Do you have headaches, stomach aches? Do you struggle to sleep? Having emotional exhaustion. Do you feel like drained? Do you feel unable to cope, tired, and have a distinct lack of energy? And basically, even at night, you can't sleep. Your mind's always going 10 to the dozen, so you're having a very big lack of sleep. Is there a reduced performance in the day to day, be that home or at work? Do you have, as I say, do you have trouble concentrating? All of these symptoms and more lead to one thing: burnout. Now, we heard it say many times about burnout, about, you know, how, how bad it is, and people think, well, we don't want you to burn out or get exhausted. And, we think in ourselves that we can cope and we can make it and we can do it. And many times we can, when we're doing a task, we can do it, but the question is, are we doing it well? But the other side of it is, when we know we're burning out and we ask to take a back seat on things, sometimes we need to stand our ground and not allow ourselves to be pushed back into doing that thing in a sort of roundabout way, when really you just do not have the capacity emotionally to do it. You see, people will never understand how you're going through what you're going through, or realize if you keep smiling, they'll think, oh, everything's okay. Remember, any form of mental illness, including this, many of the times is hidden, or all the time it's hidden. Just sometimes it does come out in different ways, and some presents so but others they don't. The struggle goes on, the fight goes on. And honestly, the thing about it is you'll also find that those that, who will keep pushing, who will continue to ask, and there will be the pressure on you. That will not stop unless you make it stop. And there's those that will ask you, are you okay? And the natural answer is, yes, I'm fine. And then they're like, great, okay, and move on. But when really in those times, here's the thing, in the times when you don't feel great, it's time to start saying no. We need to be honest and say, no, I'm not great. And if you're frustrated with work, talk to somebody at work, say, I'm really frustrated about this. And you can find out if it's burnout or you, or there is a wider issue within the job. There's no sense in asking that question, because that's how you can really identify where the source of the issue is. Because it's all right to say, oh, if you feel that way, oh, you're burnt out, it's this, it's that, it's you. No, it's not always you. You cannot always blame yourself for others' issues or other situations. You cannot do that. But it is natural to do that. Also, my thing is, if you feel that you are burnt out, you cannot cope, talk to people, get help, get support. Don't battle it on your own. Also, try and find things that help you relax, things that you enjoy. Take time out for yourself. Take care of yourself, because I guarantee you something, if you don't, nobody else will. And those around you, when you look, as I said earlier, there was an add-on to this, is when there's people around you, if they genuinely care and they see you're not right, they will come up and they will ask you and they will inquire more, not just have a one-word answer and walk off and then just completely blank you the rest of the time, as if you don't exist, or even consider the struggle, or even ask. Particularly because sometimes you might get frustrated, as I say, even in something that you're doing outside of work, and there is legitimacy to that frustration, but because you are so tired and so exhausted, you don't speak up, or because you don't feel you can, because it won't go. And it's really the thing about burnout is it clouds your judgment of what is important, what isn't, but also sometimes if you feel you have a right to say because, it might be the burnout, therefore it's not them, it's me, when actually it is them. So it is important to rest, it's important to take stock, and it's important sometimes to go back, have those conversations, but when you've got a clearer head. Because if you keep pushing when you don't, you will burn out, you will get exhausted, and there is a high likelihood, and take it from somebody who has been there, you will have a breakdown. And I want to say to you, if you feel you're getting to the point of breakdown, don't push through it. Get help straight away. I did, it almost killed me. I racked up so much weight, I got up to 24 stone from about 19 in a very short space of time. And I tell you what, I have felt burnout since at times. And and over COVID doesn't help. I burnt out particularly over COVID because of the stress of it, of the stress of what the media was peddling, the stress that nobody was holding the country that made the virus, which was China, aren't being held to account for actually creating it. And I don't mean the people, I mean the government. But also, when you look at things that happen and the pressures around that, you burn out because your body gets full of so much stress. It's the head that breaks, not all the body, usually with burnout, and it can affect in different ways. It's not just if you sat at home relaxing, that can burn you out just as quick because your head's moving, your head's not resting. So my thing is, be aware of that. Be aware of when you are not right, when you just can't do anymore. Get rest, say no, and that might be even cases saying no to people that you hang out with, like recreationally, it's just you need time because they draw off you. It might be just you need time just for you. If you're married or you have kids, burnout is, it's quite probable, but that's why as a family unit you need to work together. There is the importance of working together where one spouse or the other have actually time where one looks after the kids, where other has time out, or you get a babysitter and you both get time out. But you do this regularly so that you can get breaks, not to talk about hassles at home, deal with that another day, but just to find out why, to find love again, to find each other again. So it's not a shock when the kids move out. Invest in relationships, invest in friendships. And there's friendships you will be investing in that are, and this may go off topic a bit, but there are those friendships where you seem to do all the investing, but nobody bothers to invest in you. Be careful of those friendships, because the fact is, maybe they are going through stuff. Maybe they're just focused on the others they have. Maybe there's an age factor. I don't know. But the truth is, understand not everybody does think about others. They say they do, but they usually think about those that they're familiar with, those that are around, those that are, easy to talk to, fun to talk to, always happy. They don't want to invest in others. Yes, they want people to just invest in them, but they don't want to invest in others themselves. They don't want to invest that time, and that can burn you out because friendships have to be two-way to be strong, to unite. They have to be. And if you feel it's very much one-sided and that you are doing all the trying all of the time, then you don't get anywhere quick. So like I say, get rest. And I want to say this, I am a Christian. My rest does come from God, and understanding of when I'm burning out comes from him, or when I'm getting to that point of had enough. But I trust him, and I trust him to send the right people at the right time. And I'll sometimes send messages to people if I have to apologise for saying I'm fine when I wasn't. But in a way of also saying there was issues there as well that I had. But then hopefully it leads to a discussion. It might not. But at least then you know where you stand and you're doing things in a right manner, but you're getting it out of you. If you are frustrated and exhausted, even write things down. Write down your feelings, get them out of you, draw pictures, whatever it takes. Go outside for a walk, scream your head off, whatever you need to break free from that bondage of and get some headspace. Do it. Do it. Otherwise, and like I say, as a Christian, God does show me when I need to take a step back. It's hard, but he does show it. And I know that he guides through it. And I know just because I'm a Christian doesn't mean I'm not susceptible. And if you're a Christian watching this, doesn't mean that you are not susceptible to burnout. You are. And there are people, sadly, who will, in any walk of life, be it church, work, community, whatever, will try and take without stopping to think. But also sometimes it's because they're desperately they're struggling themselves and they're desperately trying to make things work. But like I say, you have to be aware of your own limitations. All right? Be aware of your own limitations and know that if you don't know God, if you don't know Jesus, give him a chance, because I guarantee you, he will give you a peace. You will still go through times, but he will begin to give you some warning signs as well and help you through a time of burnout. If you get to that point of transition, he will lead you forward. Trust him, go forward. But also, I do want to say, but like I say as well, and do that and see what God's going to do. But also as well, if you are struggling, starting to get help, start saying no. Do as little, even if you're down the line with something and you've been trying to do it. But also remember this, you'll not be able to help others if you don't sort things at home out. If you don't sort things, if you're not able to keep at your house or, have time to sort bills or whatever out because you're so busy doing everything for everyone else, get help. Because the truth is, you can be doing all this for everyone else and you yourself will be broken. So listen, be blessed, and just know you're not alone. If you do need help, support, advice, or prayer, then, go to the comments below, and I'll happily pray with you and, be able to help you where I can. All right. Cheers. Thank you.